It's the Ryan Raventhal Show. With weekly special guests, up-to-date music news, and a special report from Area 51. It's Ryan Raventhal.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the podcast. It's a Halloween episode this week, this month. I know it's been a while since I've been back with my last episode. It was vacation time, and so now I am back and gonna do a bunch of stuff here with some guests. And we're talking about Halloween movies and horror movies, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So here we go. To get things started here, I'm going to bring in my best friend Logan, and he's going to tell us a bit about his favorite movies, and I'm going to be talking about mine. Well, not our favorite movies, but I mean some of our recommendations to watch during Halloween season, the month of October. And they don't necessarily need to be Halloween movies or horror movies, but just stuff we like to watch during Halloween season. They could be kids' movies, they could be horror movies, they could be sports movies. I guess if it floats your boat and it's something you like to watch around Halloween season, so look forward to hearing about some of these picks some of our guests have to discuss with us. So let's get going, and I'm going to bring Logan into the meeting here, and we're going to get this mofo going. All right, welcome. I just woke up half my apartment building, probably. But welcome. Good morning, Vietnam. I mean, good morning,
Classic.
Neverland, and the rest of the internet world, podcast world. Here's my best friend, Logan. I almost said my own name, but
we're the same person.
Myself, my best friend, myself.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my best friend,
Howdy.
Logan. And we're going to talk
Howdy doody.
about Halloween movies and shit.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Halloween movies.
Oh, yeah. You know. Oh, yeah. This is probably going to be like a 6-hour podcast, once we get going here.
It could be. I do have some things to do in the day, but yeah, it could be.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Once we get going talking about movies, and there's going to be special guests coming in that we're going to edit into the podcast later, some special guests that have some of their own favorite Halloween picks that you'll see down the road. So,
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
So, yeah, but right now it's just me and Logan, and we're going to show our shit. So,
Hell yeah.
who wants to go first?
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, let's rock, paper, scissors. Absolutely. You ready? You ready? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, man, you cheated.
Just like,
you know what? Why don't you go ahead and go?
Just how that's how you win. You know how you win at like a coin toss. I learned that from the show.
You cheat? You have like a special coin?
No.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
It's like, yeah, heads I win, tails you lose. That's how you say stuff.
Yeah, I use that on my nephews.
Right over someone's head. Heads I win, tails.
Yep, because if you say it fast enough.
People like you just keep on winning. They think you're amazing. Just like like freaking Joe.
Just a lucky streak.
I don't know. I've been playing heads or tails for hours. And it keeps on winning. I don't know what it is. You go in the room later. It's like they catch on why he's winning. Heads I win, tails you lose.
It's a show I've yet to watch as friends.
It's on.
That's a show I've only ever seen like bits and pieces of. I think I'm the only American alive who's ever actually watched the show.
Yeah, same with me when it was on, and then like 2 or 3 years ago on Netflix, I just like through the whole course of like 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, I remember that.
I watched all 10 seasons. I worked my way through it, and that's my first official.
Holy shnikes.
Every episode.
Yeah.
And it's still on there, but I haven't watched a couple episodes since. I went back and rewatched some, but.
Right. All right, I'm going to concede and let you go first as the host. Yeah, I will concede.
And you'll get to your picks probably in 2 hours.
All right. I figure we could do like a back and forth. You do your number 5, then I do my number 5. How about that? We'll go back and forth.
We'll have one podcast. One podcast
per movie. We'll have 10 episodes. Part 1, Ryan's pick.
So,
number 1.
My first pick is going to be a real shocker here. You're going to be surprised. I know you're going to be surprised that I even like this movie. But, here's
maybe.
The first pick.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah. Of course, you got me the double vinyl soundtrack earlier this year, so... Yeah, that's my favorite movie of all time, but also the reason I picked that is, because of Halloween. Because, of course, it has a famous Halloween scene in it, where Elliot and Gertie and E.T. are going out and they hide E.T. in the bed sheets like a ghost. And he's like, home, when he's dressed up as Yoda. So,
yeah.
And that started the whole conspiracy, like, oh, Star Wars and E.T.
Oh, yeah.
The same.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he recognizes Yoda's species, and he recognizes that as home. So,
yeah, that's fantastic.
So, the Phantom Menace, George Lucas returned the favor and actually you see in the Senate scene, they have a group of ETs, of ET species.
Yep, I remember seeing that in the when I went and seen it at the theater.
But yeah, I always watch this on Halloween too, in and around Halloween, because of that famous Halloween scene, and it's my favorite movie, so it's just another excuse to fucking watch it. So. Yep. There's that.
That is a fantastic movie. That is a fantastic movie any time of year, but it really does take place around Halloween and on Halloween night when he's trying to phone home. I still see that guy, like the guy who plays Elliot. I'm terrible with names. For anyone watching doesn't know me, I'm absolutely terrible with names. I know faces.
Henry Thomas.
Is that Henry Thomas? He's in, if you watch Netflix and you like spooky shows, he's in The Haunting of Hill House. He plays the younger dad, and he's also in the Haunting of Bly Manor, which just came out. Yep. And it's interesting because it's like whenever I see him, I'm like, I know that guy, because I know that guy. It takes me like a few minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, Elliot.
He's also in Psycho 4.
What's that?
He plays a young Norman Bates in Psycho 4.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know that. I've never seen any of the other Psychos.
He's also in the great alien abduction movie, true story, Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky. I have seen that, but it's been so long I don't remember. I can't remember if he was one of the buddies. Was he one of the buddies, or was he the guy that got abducted?
No, he was one of the buddies.
He was the guy who got.
Yeah, he was like
one of the buddies. Okay.
So yeah, but also
right. Another thing. So do I do my? So.
No.
Okay.
Gonna continue here, but I mean, like on an ET note, is one thing I want to get off of eBay too. There's a guy selling the trailer, like the movie trailer, but 35 millimeter film. And you can actually have a canister.
Oh, no kidding!
Movie trailer for ET, so that's the 35 millimeter film. And we're like, that'll be cool. I mean, it's not the whole movie.
That would be awesome. Part of your collection.
Big giant steel reels.
No.
That'd be quite hefty to have the whole movie.
Right. Yeah.
So you have the trailer, and of course, minus
the official trailer. Yeah.
It's like a separate thing. But we have 35 millimeter film. I think it's like $50 or something like that. So down the road, I might pick that up.
That seems like a fair price.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to have for the collection with ET. So
yeah, that's a fair price, I think.
And of course, here's my dust it off here. This is, of course, my
Yeah, I dusted all mine.
This is, probably my favorite horror movie.
Oh man, yeah.
Gate. Yeah, The Gate.
The Gate.
1987. I love this movie.
Yep. Fantastic pick.
Kid, but it's like
Yep.
pretty much made almost for young kids too. Well, like maybe early tweens and stuff like that. But it's not like really any like harsh gore or super horrific scenes or anything. So it's made it's kind of like a edgier kids movie. That's why it says even PG here.
Right.
But I love this freaking movie. It scared the shit out of me as a kid, but I was still fascinated with it, with the effects and everything, and the old special effects and everything. But The Gate, I can't recommend that. That for any, not just Halloween.
That would be on my list.
It's just like I just love that movie. Even the
It's a good anytime.
That's just.
I still got to see the sequel. That movie would literally be on my list, except for I can't watch it every year. I can't watch that one every year because I have to stream it. I don't have it. But yeah, I have irrational fears from that movie. We've talked about that. The part, it really scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, in a way that I wish movies did now. And I still to this day have an irrational fear of the construction worker falling out of the wall and taking his buddy to hell. That gets me, man. I watched it, I think, a couple months ago. I had it on Prime, and I watched it in that part. I was just like, ee! It just gets me every time, and it's not, it's not real, but that's the fun of horror movies,
I still tease people about that. Even my buddy from Green JellÐ there, Rob D, who was a guest in episode 2 podcast there. He was doing a drywall job, and I was like, "Hey, did you find any zombies sealed on the wall yet?" Because of course, reference.
Right. Yeah, someone died on the site, in the construction site, and they didn't want to get in trouble, so they just sealed them into the wall.
Yeah. I thought they just made it up. Well, even when it happens later in the movie, it's like, I just made it up. It's like,
yeah.
Son of a bitch, I just made it up. All right, on to the next one. And there's another kid-friendly movie, too, when I remember seeing this in the theater. But it's definitely it is a Halloween tradition, and of course here it is. Ernest Scared Stupid. Of course, this is a DVD collection that has and Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah.
And I have a separate DVD of Ernest Saves Christmas, but on this, of course, Ernest Scared Stupid. For all you watching at home, you can see me showing it on camera, but Ernest Scared Stupid. I remember seeing that in the theater, and that was the final theatrical Ernest movie. Because after that, he made a bunch of direct-to-video movies, but Ernest Scared Stupid was the final one, and I think 1991. Yeah, 91 it came out.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's set around Halloween with this, magic troll.
Yeah. I need to see that. I need to put that on my to-watch list.
It is definitely a Halloween movie to watch.
Yeah.
It is made for Halloween. It came up in Halloween. It's set in Halloween. So, but yeah, that's definitely one to watch. And sometimes in recent years, I forgot to watch it during Halloween, but it is definitely one for the list.
Yeah, another one for my to-do list.
And now I get to some Halloween. I grabbed this in the last minute. Just I'll add this in. Just because it's less, I guess, remembered or heard of. But it's a haunted house movie. Just like you were talking about Haunting of Hill House in the second season, Haunting of Bly.
Yeah.
But this is Stephen King's Haunted House. Epic. Not Salem's Lot.
Ooh. I know.
This is...
I know what you're going to say.
Rose Red. I actually have the 2-disc DVD, which is actually the double clamshell case, the 2 DVD discs. And of course, this is a 3-part miniseries that came out in 2001. I remember I was in college and we were downloading it and watching it that way. But yeah.
I remember watching it when it aired. I watched it when it aired, and I have the DVD over there. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a cool, really one of the best haunted house stories. And that's what Stephen King wanted to do.
What's your favorite character from that one?
Oh.
I have a top favorite. What's your favorite?
The house.
The house? I like Emery. Emery cracks me up. Yeah, it is a character. The house absolutely is a character, but Emery, or Emmers, is my favorite, man. The dude cracks me up. I feel bad for him. Also... I like when he's, they're all... I like when all the shit's going down and he's telling that lady, like, you're an over-Christianized idiot. You know, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And now, of course, the actor who you're going to know the name who played the Warlock in the Warlock series back in the day, he was in that as well.
Yeah. And it was also...
I just can never remember his name. I will never forget his face.
He plays the college, dean, David Dukes. That was his last movie. He died pretty much thinking of that.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, he was.
That's too bad.
Stuff up to then, a lot of movies and stuff up to that point. But that was his last movie, David Dukes. Rest in peace, David Dukes. But yeah, Stephen King makes a cameo in that too, and he plays the pizza delivery.
Oh yeah, he does.
When Emery Bremer slams his face, he's like, "Hey, this is a cool house. Is it haunted?" And Emery just slams it. It's like annoying pizza guys or something like that.
I can't. He says something snarky first. Yeah.
Slams the door and Steve.
But I can't remember what it is. It's my favorite character.
Yeah, but he slams the door in his face. Who's the pizza delivery guy?
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, that's
I actually like cameos. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It is real good. I didn't even think to put that one on my list because I do watch it.
It's a cult classic, and I adore this fucking movie. I watched this last Halloween too. It was almost like a staple in my Halloween, and I love everything about this movie. It's the soundtrack and everything. It's like even this soundtrack of this movie is so popular. It's even used in other horror movie trailers to advertise other horror movies because it has this like
really
amazing horror movie score. And who's the composer? I can't see offhand. It doesn't show in the back here. But yeah, it's definitely a great horror movie score and full of stars. Of course, this has Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves. We're talking about Bram Stoker.
Oh shit! Yeah.
This is a special edition DVD.
Fantastic.
And but this directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who directed, of course, freaking Apocalypse Now and Godfather 1, 2, and don't need to mention 3, but this is actually just follow-up to Godfather 3. But this is freaking love this movie. It's just like it's based on Bram Stoker's novel, closely sourced.
Right.
And it's just to me, it's the best version of Dracula ever. It's not the old classic, with the cape, that one suck.
Bela Lugosi.
Oldman is like, character right there. He just plays
fantastic.
Even his laughter.
Yeah. Well, there's a thing. Yeah, there's a thing about him though. When he's out in the daylight, he's a sexy character in that. Really, I mean, when he's a young version of himself and he's wooing, he really is. He has that aesthetic that you would expect from a Dracula. And most people don't necessarily look at Gary Oldman that way.
Yeah, it's pulling off the slipcase there too. There's a poster of him.
Yeah, I mean, his house is truly creepy. He's very good at being creepy. Yeah, that's a nice. Wow, I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, it's also like with his character. Also, like it humanizes Dracula too, because a love story.
It is. It's a horror romance. It really is.
Even Annie Lennox wrote the song "Love Song for a Vampire" for the movie, and it's like an Oscar-nominated, at least, song for that year. But I mean, it's a beautiful song.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it's a powerful movie, and it's like
one thing
I can't praise it enough. It's just like the music's in my head, and it's just
Yeah.
Such a good movie. I want to watch it.
One thing
That's one movie I can watch, not just during Halloween, but I mean any time of the year.
anytime. Yeah. Interview with the Vampire is another one
Bram
that I can do.
Stoker's Dracula. I can't recommend
It's fantastic. You're right about that. It's fantastic. One thing I have the book, but I've never read it. But I like how they draw from a real life person, Vlad the Impaler, to create this character. It gives it some type of like reach, almost like it's a historical thing, but it's not, because he's not a vampire as far as I know. He's not a vampire. Vampires don't exist. You never know. He could be walking around, but fantastic choice.
But moving on to probably my favorite Halloween movie to watch every year, and definitely one of my top 10 movies ever. And you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
The VHS Space Invaders. Space SPACED Invaders. But
wait a minute, do I know this one? Is this the one I get confused with the other one? There's two movies I get confused with each other. It's this one and another one. Is this the one with Ethan Hawke?
No, that's Explorers.
I get those confused with each other.
No, you can watch that during Halloween too, because that's I actually almost added that too, because that's actually a good one to watch on Halloween.
I don't know if I've seen this one then, but we've talked about it.
Takes place on Halloween, and these 5 idiot Martians who speak English too. It's the same creature effects as the you can see them on the cover there. The same guys who did the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So they're in an interstellar war with some other alien race out there, and these idiot Martians get lost in their little space cruiser, and they stick out their antenna, and they hear a radio station on Earth playing the old 1938 Orson Welles War of the Worlds broadcast, and they think that's the invasion fleet they're looking for invading Earth. They're like, phew.
Yeah.
So they arrive.
That's amazing.
And, they're just 5 idiots, and they think invade Earth, but they're just
maybe they should just
it's on Halloween, and locals don't take them serious. They think they're just little kids in costumes. They're like, prepare to die, scum. And he's like, ha ha, have fun, boys. He's like, wait, hey, get back here. I said, prepare to die, scum. I
need to watch that. I do. I need to watch that one still.
On YouTube too. I know every movie. It's like in 1990, it came out in March 1990. Even though it's set during Halloween, it came out in March 1990, and I was 11 years old. And I remember going to the theater to see it myself alone on a Friday night. I was in 5th grade, and I loved it so much. It's all I could think about the whole next week. And then next week, I spent my allowance again and went to see it again. 2nd week in a row. I just love that movie. And of course, eventually, bought the VHS tape, and I have it on DVD and everything. I just love that freaking movie. It's like, it's campy and cheesy as all freaking hell.
That's fun then.
And a lot of people, it pisses me off when I see YouTube reviews. I'm like, it hasn't held up well and everything. I'm like, fuck you. Like, it's a freaking movie. It's like, it's campy as all hell, and it does not take itself seriously. And it's just so much fun.
It's for entertainment. Yeah, it's fun and entertainment.
Show it to kids. Any kids, like my new 8-year-old cousin Riley, loves me. And I'm like,
oh, that would be a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely looking forward to showing him this, in the coming years. And, hopefully he really likes it. But, yeah, I can watch that every day, that movie. I've probably seen it 100 times. And it's just, it's in my top 10 movies of favorite movies of all time for a very good reason, But it's not a horror movie, but it takes place on Halloween. And it's a very Halloween-themed movie, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Great for kids of all ages, as you see, or even on this video case, rated G, general audiences. Nothing wrong in it for kids at all. So, and speaking of that movie, honorable mention here, and I was mentioning the War of the Worlds, which brings those Martians to Earth in the movie, because the radio station is actually playing a vinyl record of the War of the Worlds.
Orson Welles.
And of course, I fucking have that motherfucker.
Hell yeah, you do.
Original pressing, 1969 pressing.
Nice.
Which is pressed for the at the time, the 30th 1968 pressing. It was pressed for the 30th anniversary of the original 1938 broadcast. October 30th, 1938, War of the Worlds broadcast, hosted by the Mercury Theater and Orson Welles. And the whole, most of the United States at that time thinking actual aliens were invaded.
Yep. People were freaking out.
H.G. Wells' novel, War of the Worlds, you know.
Right.
I've seen the recent movies and TV series since then, but yeah, this is a double vinyl set.
I have.
This set is 52 years ago old now.
Yeah, it's still great. I would love to listen to that.
You can listen to it on Spotify and everything now too, even on YouTube. You can listen.
Oh yeah, I have Spotify.
It's only,
but here's the thing.
Long, but I mean, it's brilliant. Like
hearing it on vinyl would be even more epic. One thing I do have. All right. One thing I do have is I have it on cassette tape, but it's not Orson Welles' rendition. It's the people from Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's got LeVar Burton. It's got Patrick Stewart. It's got Brett Spiner. And, I can't remember who else. I think Gates McFadden and all that do the voicings of it. So, but I would love to hear the original. I got to remember that too, because I have Spotify.
Yeah, it's on Spotify, the whole original, and but of course that's just classic, you know. That's just listening to it with Mercury Theater and Orson Welles, especially the whole monologue he does at the beginning. You know, we know now the 23rd century, our planet was being watched by intelligences. You know, this whole speech, you just had that classic voice. You know, classic.
It gave you the chills. Yeah, it gave you the chills. Fantastic.
But it's like 1938. It's like. Yeah, it's a forgotten era, but I mean, like, yeah, I'm so glad I have it on vinyl. Ever since that movie, Space Invaders 2, where the DJ plays that on vinyl, that's the first time I ever heard the War of the Worlds broadcast. That's the first time I ever even knew it existed was from this movie. And
wow, I can't even remember the first time I heard about it.
It plays bits of it in the movie, you know, before the Martians arrive and everything. It plays it, and so. And that's the first time I heard it, and I heard Orson Welles' voice, and yeah, you know, like I gotta find that, you know, and eventually I heard it.
It's inspiring.
So I'm like, since that movie, I'm like, I want a record copy of just like in the movie, like the DJ has.
Yeah, so do I actually now.
A copy of that actual broadcast, so thrilled, you know, even if I never played on the actual record very often, you know. I still have it anyway, sealed. So.
Oh yeah, the vinyl can last a real long time.
But.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to put that on my ticket list because I plan on, if not this month, next month, getting myself a vinyl record player because I have the Who's Tommy disc for forever. But there are different ones that I want to get, and that's definitely one of them.
Yep.
Definitely. All right. Any more honorable mentions, sir?
No, that's it. That's it for me. That's all my recommendations. So I can go on and on.
Guess it's my turn.
Talk about Halloween recommendations all day long. So.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess I'll get started in my list, which we talked before the show. I've revamped it 3 times. This list is different from my favorite horror movies. Now, there are horror movies on here, but it's very different. So my top favorite horror movies aren't even on here. These are the ones that I specifically make sure to watch every Halloween. So I'm going to start with the number 5 spot, because I like to go in reverse order. And that would be Hocus Pocus. This is a classic. A lot of people like it. It's great for the family. I've always liked Bette Midler. And this other lady, I always know her face, but because she's been around forever, is Kathy Najimy. I can never say her last name. She's been around for ever. I actually really like her. And of course, you got Sarah Jessica Parker, who Sex and the City, if anyone's watched that. I think I seen a movie once with a friend. But this is actually a really good one. I always watch every year. A lot of people watch this movie. every single year, but I can watch it anytime, but I always make sure to watch it. Actually, I watched it like the other day. So this is good. This is good. I promise. If you haven't watched this and you got kids who love Halloween movies or whatever, this is the one to watch.
Never heard of it.
Oh, yeah. Bullshit. Bullshit. We should, we should figure out how to,
It's also
stream movie and watch at the same time.
Subscribers, that's also on Disney Plus right now. $8.99.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is on Disney Plus.
Focus right now because they own Fox, so they own that movie now. It's basically a Disney movie.
Right.
Yep.
Right, and you can, I think I've seen it 1 week for free on YouTube to watch, because there are some free movies to watch on YouTube for a short time.
Yeah.
All right.
On there.
Number 4 spot. Now, I love this movie. This movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I watch it every year now that I have it. Pumpkinhead, the first one. The other ones are pretty decent, but this one, I fucking love this movie. It's so good. It's still good to this day. Creeps me out. For anyone that's actually watching it on YouTube, this is a creepy freaking creature. This is creepy. Lance Henriksen. He's been around for ever. Fantastic actor. Plays the lead
Never heard
in this. Oh, fuck.
Bishop.
I watch this every year. Yeah. Bishop from Alien. I'm a huge fan of robots and anything. Aliens and Alien and yeah. So this is a fantastic, if you want it still holds up to this day. I think it came out in the 80s. I can never remember that kind of shit, but
Yeah, it was 88.
Great. I watch it every year.
89, something like that.
Yeah. So if you want to watch something creepy that's older, has good practical effects, good acting, and just creepy, watch that. Number 3. I first saw this movie 2 years ago, and I can't believe I've never watched it. If you're a fan of slashers, this is a cult classic, and now I watch it every single Halloween, and I actually watch it a couple times a year, and that is Sleepaway Camp. Hopefully it can be seen for those. Sleepaway Camp is a fantastic fucking movie. If you love slashers, it's really good. Have you seen this one?
Oh, yeah. Have I seen this one?
Okay. Well,
I can't.
I've seen the other ones too recently, and I actually kind of I like this the best, obviously, but
Well, the first one,
the kills in here are really neat.
Felissa Rose and everything, she's still a staple at all the horror conventions and everything, and I know.
I would love to meet her. She seems really cool.
Well, I found my last guest on the podcast, Rob Gabriele, met her. He has pictures of her.
Oh.
I mean, he's met her. Well, he does conventions with Trauma and everything, the conventions and stuff.
Right.
So
I actually discovered this
on one occasion.
Right. I actually discovered this movie, and even though we might have talked about it before this, if for some reason I have the worst memory in the fucking world because my brain is a mush, I watched this YouTube channel called Dead Meat, and a guy goes over different movies and the kill count and stuff, and he mentioned this movie, and I'm like, why haven't I ever watched this? I love slasher flicks, so if you want a good slasher flick, this is a fun one. It is older. I think it was made in the 70s or something, late 70s, early 80s or something. I'm terrible with that. You're going to know, aren't you?
One of the biggest horror movie twists. No spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And no spoilers at all, no.
Horror movie twist on that one.
It is a fantastic twist.
You don't see that one.
Going into it, I knew there was going to be a twist. No, you don't. You do not see it coming, and that's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. My number 2 spot. I love this movie. I watch it every year. As is the list, right? Trick or Treat. It's an anthology type movie. It has a lot of different stories within. Trick or Treat, yeah. I always say Trick or Treat because it's Trick or Treat.
Because there is another movie called Trick.
Yeah.
But it's Trick.
Yeah, there is, and this is Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat. Yep. It's got a lot of different actors who, I know their face, but I don't know their name, and they've been around. You'd probably recognize them. But it also has Anna Paquin, who, for those of you who ever watched True Blood, she plays Sookie. And it has Brian Cox, who has been in movies ever since fucking... Oh, she did play Rogue, didn't she? And then it's got Brian Cox, who's been around for, ever since the dawn of time. So, He plays a fantastic character in this, but I really like him as an actor. But is he?
Yeah, he played
Brian Cox.
Yeah, Brian Cox. He was like
Brian Cox.
Yeah, he played in like X-Men 3. He played like Wolverine's. I forget the character's name, but basically the guy that makes Wolverine, gives him his claws.
Oh, he gave him. He was the scientist that put the animonium or whatever.
Yep.
Animanium. I can never say that word.
Adamantium.
This adamantium. Yeah. This does have a lot of gore.
Yeah.
I can't believe I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I always
forget the character's name. General Stryker, I think is his name.
Right. He would be good at that.
But, yeah.
I always remember one of my favorite movies outside of this is Troy. He plays in Troy. That has Brad Pitt in it and Eric Bana. Also, another one. He actually played Hannibal Lecter. He's probably one of the first people to play Hannibal Lecter in a movie called Manhunter. Yeah.
Based on
Manhunter. I can't remember fucking names of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read the book. It's fantastic.
Dragon, the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, and of course it later was remade with Anthony Hopkins into the movie Red Dragon.
Red Dragon.
2002.
Yep. Yeah. But this is a good one to get. I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. All the stories kind of meet up because they're like all kind of neighbors and stuff, but they have their own little super stories. And if you like gore, it gets pretty bloody at times. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Mask guy too. There's when I was in the record store and comic book store. They had, different figures of him too.
Yeah, the figures are pretty creepy. I seen one at Walmart here this week. I think it's like $30 though. So I haven't gotten it like I want to.
Or if the figures like you can take off the hood because.
Yeah, you could take off. There's the different
spoilers, but you find mask.
Right, and it comes with the little, his little sucker that he has, lollipop that he has that he kills people with. It comes with that. So, all right. So my number one, he is. It's a great character. Okay, so my number one favorite movie to watch around the holidays, which is also like holidays is my holidays. It's like Halloween. It's also one of my top favorite horror movies, which is An American Werewolf in London. This is a fantastic fucking movie. Great special effects. Classic. Absolutely classic.
Arguably the
part where he's...
werewolf transformation ever on screen.
I agree. It still holds up to today. I mean, yeah, it's practical effects and stuff, but it looks fantastic. It looks painful like it's supposed to look painful.
He won the Academy Award, I believe, for that movie.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of werewolf movies. I think they get the short end of the stick in Hollywood completely. But this is a fantastic one. They also have another movie, American Werewolf in Paris, which came out in the 90s. I do like this one, but this is far superior. Far superior movie. It's fun. They're on it's adventurous because they're hiking through Europe. I think they just graduated. I don't know if they're in college or whatever, college age, but they're on this trek, him and his best friend, and they kind of lose their way and they get into some trouble. It's got fantastic scenes in this. I watch this all the time, and this one's new because I finally got it on Blu-ray because I only had it on VHS, and so fantastic thing.
Yeah, right over there. I
have the VHS.
I actually have the VHS tape over there too.
Yep, I have the VHS. I've had it for years, and the first time I watched it, I was 16. This is when I used to hang out with Cindy all the time when we were younger. I haven't seen her in a while, which is a mutual friend of ours. I don't know if she'll ever be able to get on the show or anything. She's pretty busy, but anyways, I have two honorable mentions. What's that?
They made a 1997 sequel to that too, called American Werewolf in Paris. But
yeah, I mentioned that.
You can skip that one. Yeah. It's all freaking CGI werewolves and everything.
It is CGI. I gotta say, it's a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I actually like it. It's not the best movie. The one in London is far superior. It is far superior. If you're going to watch either of them, choose that one, please. But I don't mind the other one. I'm less of a critic. I tend to like everything. So if I don't like something, it's pretty bad. But I don't mind that movie. So I got like two honorable mentions, if you don't mind. Okay.
Yeah,
so
one of the best werewolf movies of all time.
Yeah, it is. And I'm
Bad Moon. And
yeah, Bad Moon's pretty good. You know what I like is Wolf.
The
Howling's good.
Also, Silver Bullet.
So yeah, Silver Bullet with the Stephen King has Gary Busey.
Yep.
There's another one with Christina Ricci that I like, Bitten or something. Cursed, yeah, I have it.
Directed by Wes.
But there's Cursed. Yeah, I really like that one too. But I wish that there were more, because if you put in vampire movies, you find so many. And I ain't knocking vampire movies. There's a lot of really fantastic ones out there. But, they're more romanticized, and werewolves aren't, so they get kind of the short end of the stick. But I think that they could capitalize on a lot of very interesting things with werewolves. But anyways, I have honorable mention. This series, a lot of people watch. It's heavily popular. But I tend to like to watch at least like the first one or two in the series every Halloween, and that is the Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, or any of those ones. You can't not feel Halloween in this. It's magic. It's wizards. It has a Halloween vibe to me, and they do have sections in the movies that are during Halloween. So this is an honorable mention. It's fantastic around this time of year.
Wizards and shit.
Wizards and shit.
On that note, too, remember my mom recently met Daniel Radcliffe here in town.
Yes, that is awesome.
She just hears this "Good morning." She turns around, it's freaking Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry fucking Potter, which I have heard from many people is the nicest guy. And we had talked about this, but I'll mention it. Yeah, I'll mention it. I'm from Michigan, and I used to live in Flint, and there's a University of Michigan Flint. They have Ann Arbor, which is the main campus in Flint. The person he is dating now, I don't know if they're engaged or anything, but the person he is seeing, my friend Cindy, who I just mentioned a few moments ago, was going there for theater classes, and she was in some of the classes that was with his girlfriend. And I don't remember if she got to meet him at all. I doubt it. But he had been seen on campus waiting for her.
Yeah,
and people would go up and be like, holy shit.
During the pandemic here and everything, too, he wasn't here filming anything. He was here, I guess, visiting his girlfriend, because his girlfriend was here filming something. So,
yeah.
Late summer.
So, I like Daniel Radcliffe a lot. I like I like all the actors, really, especially the kid actors that are in those movies. They've come a long way, I think, and especially him, because he did some stage, and he's doing like really good movies out there too that don't necessarily get the huge,
Like, I should have grabbed the Blu-ray I have, but I'm like, he was in a 2014 movie called Horns.
Yeah.
On Netflix, something I adore that.
It's still on there.
That's based on the novel by Joe Hill, who's a horror author and also Stephen King's son.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he was.
Yeah, okay. I haven't read any of this stuff.
And also on Amazon Prime, I just watched him in a new movie called Guns Akimbo. Based on.
Is that the one where he has them stuck to his hands?
Yep.
Is that the one? I've seen pictures.
Good in that. I was like, I gotta watch that again. That's a movie I want to pick up on Blu-ray because it was so good. I want to watch the behind the scenes on that. He was so good in it.
Yeah.
It was just like I was glued to my seat watching that like a month ago. It was just like
those are two of his movies I still need to see. I have one more honorable mention, and we've already talked about this in a way, and that is Alien. I have all of them here. All four of them, but I love to watch especially the first two. I love the first two a lot. And of course, got Bishop. I believe he's in the second one, didn't he? I always forget. I always think he's in Aliens 3 for some reason.
And he's also
he is in Aliens.
He's in a brief scene in Alien 3.
In Aliens 3.
Basically.
Which that movie gives me creepy crawlies because of all the lice everywhere. I can't fucking believe it. But the first two especially, the first three are actually really great, but I usually watch the first two. Alien Resurrection, that one's okay. I like Winona Ryder, but I think everyone's kind of like, it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad.
Nope.
I like Winona Ryder.
It's like I fucking adore Alien Resurrection.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's the one I watched the least.
I have the novelization in my bedroom there in my bookshelf.
Right.
I have the novelization, and I have the half-inch thick making of Alien Resurrection.
Well, hey, that's fine.
Look,
I'm not saying it's bad.
I saw that front row and center by myself
in
December 1997 at the theater. It's the first weekend the big theater, the 18 cinemas, 18 screen theater opened up here. It was 18 screens at the time. And it was the first week of that theater open up. You know, the big movie was Scream 2.
Right.
But I went to see Alien freaking Resurrection, and I loved it. And right after that movie, I walked across the street and to the big bookstore, Chapters, and I bought that book, Alien. I was into big making of movie books at the time, so I love.
Well, no, those could be a lot of fun.
I bought that making of movie book, and I still have it. But the biggest thing about Alien Resurrection is if there's a special feature on your set, because I have the Alien Anthology, it has like, I don't know, 16 Blu-rays or something in this set, because it has like a couple of.
I got the quadrilogy.
Yeah, Alien Resurrection, they show behind the scenes of that, especially the flooded kitchen scene where they're underwater.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's really good.
Aliens.
That does make you kind of feel like you can't fucking breathe.
Yeah, it's the first thing they shot on that movie. But the thing is,
oh no shit,
they actually filmed underwater. That's actually underwater, and those underwater for hours. You know, on like air and everything. They had like a person dedicated to each actor to make sure they're all breathing and everything between takes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in this big giant pool filming that for like
that's cool
3-minute scene. But I mean,
yeah,
that really impresses me how they did that. They were all actually underwater for days filming that 1 3-minute scene. And then you see like the big hit movie Aquaman, which takes place 99% underwater, and they're not even underwater. They're just on.
Yeah, you can tell they're not.
Wires. They're on wires.
Yeah.
Blue screen. They're not.
Yeah, you can tell.
They're just floating around. And here it is. All these actors on Alien Resurrection basically almost freaking died making this scene in the movie. It's only 3 minutes like in the movie, and they almost died making it. And it's like this whole risky production, you know, and like
well, that's very impressive.
Movie with respect, I'm like, because they made that. Even though there's CG in the movie, CGI aliens and everything, but that scene, they actually were underwater, risking their lives, filming.
Well, for the record, I didn't say I didn't like the movie. I just like the first 3 better than that one. I think the thing that gets me, it is a good movie. I'm not going to lie. It is a good movie, but I like the first 3 the best. And I like Winona Ryder. I think the thing that gets me, that gets a lot of people is, it's like Ripley's dead, so it's like clone Ripley, but really that's kind of just like whatever. But it is a good one. Like, it is a good one. Yeah, I mean, it is a good one, but it's my least favorite of the 4. Right. But this is my last honorable mention. I think this is a fantastic series. I do have Prometheus and the other one. I can't remember the name of it. You know, just so I have all the movies that go along with the aliens. But these are definitely the top choice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, maybe I don't have that last one. I do have Prometheus, though. I don't think I got that other one. I don't remember now. I have too much shit. I have too much shit. I'm looking at all these right now. I'm like, that's too much shit, man. I need more. So I like watching all these. Yeah, there you have it.
Classics. Those are classics, and I have the whole set of them over there, and I even have the whole set of the Predator movies too.
Oh yeah, fantastic! I have the first one still. I got for Christmas from my grandma. It's on VHS. I can't watch it because I don't have a way to watch VHS right now. But yeah.
Yeah, I still have 2 working VCRs.
I used to, but I got wrecked. I let someone borrow it. I had, well, it wasn't a VCR, it was a PCP. It couldn't record. But I let someone borrow it, and it got wrecked. So I don't let people borrow my shit no more. Unless they have money to replace it immediately, because like I'm sick of replacing it. I can't afford to replace this stuff. Just can't.
Exactly. I would love to have my old, like, you know, VHS collection I had in my first apartment. You know, I still have that all, but do not have the storage space to have all big VHS collection. You know.
No, you do need a lot. They do take up more space.
Rob Gabriele and I had like a nice sized basement and everything, and I can store everything like he does. That'd be awesome. You know, to have like a whole nice collection.
Or even just just having a house in general, just have one room dedicated to all that shit would be nice. You know, basement or otherwise, it would be very nice. Because I got, like you, I got a lot of movies. I still have CDs, a couple hundred CDs that I haven't listened to in years because they've been in storage, and I have a bunch of books. And these are things that take up space, but I like to display them. I like to have them out, you know. So I don't have a space where I'm living like I'd like, but I do my best. You know, I do my best.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't really have any space left, so.
Yeah. Dog's taking up a lot more room because I spoil him. He's got too much shit.
We interrupt this broadcast for an important message from Mike and Eli from The Bombed Solid.
We are live.
Hi, we're the Bomb Solid, and we're here to talk about our Solid 6 horror movies. Solid 6 is something we've been featuring on our own, what do you call it? Is it a podcast? We go on Facebook Live, and we have a little show called Let's Get Bomb Solid.
It's a show.
It's a show. Let's Get Bomb Solid with the Bomb Solid. We talk about stuff we like. And we play bits of, for instance, we were on our road to Halloween, which is appropriate for today's conversation, our road to Halloween. We've been talking about our favorite horror movies. We've been reciting bits of dialogue and acting bits out. We've been playing theme songs from various of our favorite horror movies. Today, we're just going to talk about what we had a hard time choosing.
Oh
first
my
of all.
god! Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like choosing, music fans, choosing your favorite album. What's your favorite album? What's your favorite song?
10 albums you would have to be on a desert island with. Ah!
Yeah, like so. The honorable mentions list on this top 6 is definitely going to be a little vast.
Huge.
It's huge. We went through a lot, man.
Like, how do we talk about? What do we talked about? There's a lot of modern new movies that are great. We listed off like a whole pile of Hereditary and Coherence and not Mommy Dearest. That's the old Good Night Mommy.
Good Night Mommy and Mama.
Oh my gosh, there's a whole pile. Did I say Green Room already?
The Green Room. Well, and Us, Get Out. Like, Jordan Peele and Ari Aster.
Super cool stuff coming
out. They're leading the way, and I just watched one last night on Netflix. It's called One Bedroom. Just came out this year, and it's great. I loved it. So I recommend that.
Nice. There's a whole pile of like the stuff that you got me into because Eli is the big horror movie buff. I am to a small degree. When I was a kid, my mom was a big Stephen King fan, so that informs a lot of my choices. So like in my 3, Stephen King didn't make it, but like. I remember reading all the books as a preteen, all the classics, all your Cujos and Pet Sematary and Salem's Lot was one we had on a video. But that brings me to my first pick, and my first pick is inspired by my mother, because this was one of her favorites, and I don't know if you can see the VHS. Of course you can. It's a classic. Psycho. This is from late 60s. Hitchcock, of course. Everything about this is iconic. Everything about this movie is iconic. And for me, a huge part of it is the music. Bernard Herrmann's music in this is phenomenal, and as it is in all of his. He is one of the standards by which all other movie scores are measured by. And there's, of course, a million lines. That we all go a little crazy, a little mad sometimes,
that's
right?
The big one.
Right. So that's my first pick. That's my first pick. And basically because of the first impression. A lot of my picks are just first impressions. Made a big impression on me when I was a young person growing up. And what a great story and well told. Really is what all it has to be.
And just a minor correction, 1960.
Yeah, it's
not late.
It was the late 60s. Oh, I did say that. It was actually 1960.
1960.
Oh wow, I thought it was
crazy.
Well, there you go, kids. Don't listen to me.
No,
believe everything you hear on
the
internet.
I had to. That's why I picked up the case. I was like, he could be right, but I'm not quite sure. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. So I guess we're gonna go back and forth here, are we?
Yeah, might as well.
And we're gonna do So I guess Mr. Ryan Raventhal, who's we're on this podcast right now. Our host. He asked us to do a top 5. But since we're the Bomb Solid in our own
I didn't know that. I assumed it was a solid.
No, he asked us for a top 5, but but I asked him, how about we do a solid 6 since that's what we do on our show, and he said that'd be fucking great. He approved.
Winning.
So I guess number 2 of the solid 6. I'm going to start with an early one. I used to go to a little place in Pictou called Smiley's Video when I was a kid. Anybody local will remember that place. And I was basically at the mercy of whatever my uncle was renting. And he was always renting cool
Luckily,
stuff.
you had it cool, huh?
Yeah, absolutely I did.
Sweet record collection, too.
Sweet record collection. He's the guy that got me into VHS.
Everybody needs a cool uncle with a sweet record collection. I'm that cool uncle now.
I'm the cool uncle with a sweet VHS collection. But anyway, the first movie he ever let me rent from the classic horror section at Smiley's Video was Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Ooh, wait.
Which
Dream Warriors.
Not only is it a movie I watch like every year, every Halloween. I watch it multiple times a year. It's one of my favorites. It always has been.
I like that you got the sweet clamshell case.
It's the clamshell. It's still got the Dawkins sticker on it.
Nice.
And I believe there's also no restricted sticker, but 203 ain't bad. But one of the first horror movies I ever watched. Scared the shit out of me. Still love it today. So I'm putting that on our list.
Well, that's a nice segue to things I shouldn't have watched when I was a kid, and that would be The Thing in 1982, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 in 1982, and I should not have seen that thing. I should not have seen spider's legs busting out of dude's head. I should not have seen any of that, and it left an impression with me that is still with me today.
Oh man!
And also again, cool story, well told. I like the small ensemble cast works really well for horror movies. I find keep them in a central location and just a few characters. A few years ago, when we were looking on Netflix to see if it was still on there, they made a sequel, which was actually, I guess, a prequel. Because, of course, if you've seen The Thing, you recall there's 2 camps in, I believe it's the Antarctic. And the second story is what happens at the other camp. They find everyone dead at the other camp. Super cool. Made a big impression on me. John Carpenter created that.
And Halloween, of course. The man.
And it's right, Halloween. And come see episode whatever it was where we play some Halloween. And actually, we did a Dr. Loomis bit too, actually. On one of
Yeah, episode 7. Nah, check it out.
But anyway, that's unrelated to The Thing.
Yeah.
John Carpenter.
So that's I guess that was number 3 on the solid 6.
We're halfway there.
And he mentioned Stephen King.
Yeah.
Well, this is one I watch every year, and it's like one of my favorites. Children of the Corn, 1984. Who doesn't love a nice cult? A movie about cult children killing everybody over 18.
Amazing.
Absolutely creepy. And,
Midsummer vibes, now that you mention it.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
sort of the cult vibe. Yeah.
Midsummer. Oh, such a great movie.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah,
I wonder. Yeah. I mean, the thing with Stephen King, I think, that resonates with me and my mom growing up about Stephen King is that it's he talks about rural New England a lot, and it's very similar to here where we live, and it just the idea of the isolation and the stuff, the language, the way people talk in his books and in his movies. It's really very much like here, and it made it seem like
super relatable. Yeah.
I remember I was saying to you earlier. I remember reading it and being like, I gotta put that away, and like feeling like seeing it resonating in every part of my life, like you're afraid to go around the corner kind of thing. Which brings me to my third pick, which is number
5 of the.
Oh my
solid
god!
6.
I am not even halfway through this joint, and I can't.
I finished
5.
mine.
5. Huh. I don't know how that happened. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In the late 70s, we were just talking about this too. There was like a few movies that there was like this sort of wave of like The Exorcist and The Omen and Texas Chainsaw, where people were like freaking out in movie theaters, and like it was they were really and for different reasons. They're all very different style movies, but
the common ground between the 3 is we have never seen something like
exactly
this before,
right.
You know
like,
what I mean, like
and
people
truly
know how to take it.
Frightened people, and that's exciting to me. you can't beat sound design on Chainsaw, because the score is like, it's not a traditional score at all. It's all percussion-y. It's really
it's like banging hammers on steel. Like
right, yeah. It's like really just creates unease in all the right ways, and there's so many great iconic scenes in that. We talked about when he first comes through the door and grabs her in. There's
scary.
a bunch of them. Hangs dude on the hook. There's like, oh man, there's so many great moments in that, and the famous one at the end, of course, where he's just twirling the fucking chainsaw. Yeah. Man, and Tobe Hooper. I'm trying to think of what the movie was he did directly after that, and it was something really. I'm gonna be on the Google right after this. It's on the tip of my tongue. Get on the old Google machine and check it out.
Google.
That's our 6 for 5 out of our 6.
No, that's 5. You mentioned number 6.
Oh.
1978, I believe. 1976. Just as far as just a creepy and eerie slow burn. Magically performed, beautifully directed. The Omen. It's a masterpiece. It's scary. It's a horror movie, but it's I don't know. It's more than that. It's just I consider it one of the greatest movies ever made. Like up there with whatever you would consider that. But yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. It's a classic.
And you can't beat demons and possession.
Well, it's like it's
occulty things. I like that. I love that.
And it's such an innocent villain.
Right.
It's like a child doing so much. Yeah, so much evil.
Evil, so evil. You would say she was evil.
Evil.
Little different Mike Myers for you there. How's that? We're the Bomb Solid. This has been our solid 6. Thanks, Ryan, for inviting us to yap on about this.
Yappy. And
come and check out our stuff.
All the stuff. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
In reality, we're a band. We have music.
Yeah, we have music. We have our little show on Tuesday nights. So check it all out.
Every Tuesday.
The Bomb Solid.
See you later.
We interrupt this broadcast again for another message from Rob Gabriele.
Hey, it's Rob Gabriele from Green JellY with some Halloween movie recommendations. I don't know many movies that really take place on Halloween. I mean, there's plenty, clearly, obviously. But the movies I picked are movies that I like to watch on Halloween. These are the movies that scared the hell out of me when I was a kid, and it just brings me back to being a kid. I mean, there's the obvious staples that, people go back to, like the franchises, like the Leprechaun franchise, or like, Evil Dead, or Hellraiser, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know what else we got. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. But the movies I picked, I tried not to go like too weird with the movies, because my taste is much different from other people, but I think everyone would agree that Candyman's a great movie to put on every Halloween. Why not? Scared the hell out of me as a kid. That was one of the first movies like to genuinely scare me and not send me out of the room scared. Oh my God, that was gory, that was gross. No, like actually scare the hell out of me and screw up like my head a little bit. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. One of those movies you could just watch over and over and over again. Highly recommend that. Monster Squad. If you haven't seen it, I mean, you have to see it. This is, if you're an 80s kid, if you weren't an 80s kid, this lets you know what it was like to be an 80s kid, like into horror movies. This is kind of the movie to make me go head over heels into the whole horror genre. More so than most people. Now, and you can watch that with the whole family too. There's no gore, there's no sex, there's nothing like that. There's a little bit of swearing, but that's about it. Sleepaway Camp, the first one. I mean, if you ever shopped in a video store back in the day, you came across this cover. Even if you didn't rent it, you remember this cover. The writing, the note on the back. I'm sure this is ingrained in everyone else's mind just as much as it is mine, right? Right? Yeah, no, I'm not weird, right? Sleepaway Camp. And last but not least, Brain Scan with Eddie Furlong. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's got a great soundtrack. It's really cheesy. It's dumb. It's got a goofy ending. Most people hate it. unless you kind of grew up around this time to appreciate it. But anyway, give it a shot. Hopefully you like it. Those are the movies that I recommend if you are me. Cool.
Alrighty, so that was a good addition from my buddies. They sent us a cool Halloween video there with their picks. That was awesome. And of course, my partner in crime, Bill to my Ted, Wayne to my whatever it is.
Hey, call me Nighthawk.
Logan, my best friend Logan.
Hell yeah.
And so
Had a great time. Thanks for having me on the show.
yep,
I had a lot of fun.
First of many, you're gonna probably see.
Oh yeah.
Logan's gonna be my special correspondent. You know, even if I get him in here on podcast for like 5-10 minutes, you know, I'm gonna force him to be less shy from now on. Podcast. I mean, like when I first started doing this, they're like and suggesting he come on the podcast. He was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, I don't know. I am pretty shy. I get tongue-tied.
Exactly.
You know, but I think I did pretty good. Yeah, I try not to think about it. Thanks. Now I'm scared. It wasn't too bad. I think I did okay.
I'm gonna make you famous.
Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be famous, I'm taking you with me.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. No, I had a great time. It was a lot of fun making this list, even preparing for the show. And I think
Definitely will have
I think it's just a lot of fun.
more list than what to do a Christmas video. Too. Oh, the Christmas
Oh, shit.
movies.
Oh, I better start working on that now. I already know my number one.
Yeah,
I already know my number one.
Christmas theme. But we'll probably have you on the podcast long before that, anyway, Stu.
Well, I look forward to it.
That's the way. So,
I
anyway,
look forward to it.
love you lots, and this was awesome.
Love you too, man. Love you too, man.
So,
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
yep, we talk behind the scenes, and so this is Ryan Raventhal with the Ryan Raventhal Show, and this is Logan, also on the show.
Hey.
Thanks for watching and happy Halloween.